And we are live. Hi, everyone.
Hello,
It's
welcome.
Wednesday for the best streaming, this best streaming day, better than Tuesdays. Um,
Right, Paul.
Welcome, everyone. We're going to be talking about the Machinima Contest today, and we have with us today Benny D, who we've had on a live stream before. He's joining us all the way from Nigeria, and he's going to talk about some of the things he's been doing for the Machinima Contest. And also joining us is Maddie,
Hey,
our
Maddie.
technical community manager, and we have Edmar up here. So, Edmar, do you have any good announcements or anything you want to
Well,
share?
we're very lucky to have Maddie here. We can probably spend a couple of seconds talking about the new developer-focused live streams we talked about in the warm-up a minute ago. But for anyone who just missed it, we are doing live streams on Tuesday now, organized by Maddie. Every other Tuesday will be basically live coding with Maddie, and then on the alternate Tuesdays, it'll be more focused on a specific topic with special guests. And yesterday was a great debut of that, and we had Paul and Justin and Damien and Maddie, and that was a lot of I think a lot of information passed off to
Yeah,
the team.
make if you guys missed it, go on YouTube, watch the stream. It was really informative. It's really good.
Yes, that one's focused on creating scene modifier and manipulator extensions, and I think next Tuesday will be coding with Maddie, and then the following Tuesday on the 21st, it's going to be getting started with layout and scene authoring, and then I think a couple weeks after that is Omni UI,
Yep.
if that
Oh yeah,
schedule sticks. So
good.
that's pretty awesome. And then on the non-coding side, next week on Wednesday, so a week from today, we are very very excited and honored to have Turbo Squid on the live stream with us. And Turbo Squid is just a fantastic. Everybody knows Turbo Squid. Obviously, it's a great place to grab your assets. Great storefront for making and selling stuff. So we're going to talk to them a lot about kind of like how they're evolving and supporting USD and what's next on the roadmap for them. And digital twins will be a big topic. So that is going to be really great. We're talking to Dade from Turbo Squid next week. So stay tuned for that. And then let me see if anyone hasn't seen it. We just released a video yesterday called Top Goose. I think it was released yesterday.
I
Uh,
saw that.
so speaking of Machinima and very much related to Machinima, so the team just had a creative idea and worked on it. I don't want to give it anyway. Just watch it. It's awesome. So if you haven't seen it, go do a search for Top Goose made in
Yeah.
Machinima. But I mentioned it because on the 22nd, I think, we are going to be interviewing that team and go behind the scenes on what went into making that Machinima. So very much in line with what we're talking about today, which is the Machinima Contest, which is into the end of June, so still plenty of time. Anyway, so we've the ability to actually have a better schedule now. We can kind of plan things out in advance. I have to give very big credit to Amelia on our team, who's been really helping to get all the pieces together so we can have a schedule. Right now, we've got shows scheduled for the next at least looks like 6 weeks or so. So right now we're also looking for ways where people can opt in and subscribe and receive notifications on specific shows. So if anyone out there has got an idea on what we could use to help do that, we post them in the announcements on the forums. We post them on Discord in the events section. But if you have other ideas on how we can integrate them into your own calendars, please let us know. And we're looking into that right now. Anyway, so let's get into it. So Benny D, thank you for coming back.
Yeah. Thank you for having me again.
And Benny just explained a few minutes ago. So he's at a different location now than he's usually. So his webcam is not on. However, you can probably enjoy a look back at a highlights from his first appearance on our live stream. If Wendy can cue that video
Yeah,
up.
let's take a look. Thank you for joining us today. We have a really cool community spotlight with Benny D.
Hi everyone, I'm very excited to be here.
He's going to show us what he uses, some of the cool things he's used Omniverse for. And really special guest here is we have John Martin, the Vice President of Marketing at Reallusion. So
we're so excited about everything that's happening with the Omniverse ecosystem and Reallusion and the bridges that we're building in between that's really aiding and bringing the ultimate collaboration tool, which you guys are building at NVIDIA with Omniverse.
I started off as a video director before I entered animation. When I stumbled into Omniverse, I was like, whoa, this is just like another icon. So easy, so smooth. Once I understand the software and it's giving me what I want, I just spit it out. Sometimes I just get inspiration. I just listen to a music or a trailer. I just watch a movie trailer, and there I just get inspired, and boom.
Omniverse is so adaptable. Whatever your tool is, whatever gun you sling, you can bring and really speed rendering process, get higher visuals.
As a creator, the excitement keeps you going. When I do a project and I render it and I see the result quickly, it just makes me happy and I want to do more.
Our goal is to continue to create a robust pipeline for characters and animation tools to work seamlessly in the Omniverse environment. And today we have a chance to really celebrate Benny D's work and what he's doing to exemplify that.
very, very cool. I always love going back and looking at all the stuff Benny has done.
And you're like your personality is infectious, Benny. It's awesome. That was so much fun, and a big congratulations to Reallusion, who was in that clip also, because I believe they just launched Character Creator 4.
Yes.
Right. So Benny, before we dive into Machinima stuff, so you've been working with Reallusion's tools for quite a while, right?
Yes.
And so what's so special about Character Creator 4?
Well, I think the updated morphs, the morph and it's still a new software, so I've not really had time to play around with it. But from what I have discovered just now, in the same time, is it has a better morph for lip syncing and for more subtle facial animation, and it's more believable and more realistic. So I think that for me that's one very important feature that I like, or I would like to play with.
And are you also using iClone also by Reallusion as well, right?
Yes, I use iClone.
And how do you use iClone for your work?
Yeah, I've used iClone for so long that I think I'm really like, it's so convenient for me. It's just something that is so easy for me to use right now. I grew up on iClone, and I really absorbed the whole skill of iClone in my head so much that I just use it for everything. So basically, I use iClone for animation and animation. Basically, now that I use Omniverse for rendering, I mostly use iClone for animation, because even in Omniverse, I end up setting up the lights to get my mood. But usually, if I use only iClone as a standalone for render and everything, I use it for both animation, lighting, and how to get mood and set up the whole scene. But now, basically, it's mostly for the animation. It's so convenient.
Very cool, and I think it's so awesome to see how these different tools can work together, using USD and the Omniverse platform to kind of really like expand what's possible, and just add a lot more. Like filmmakers like yourself and Jay Salina really are very inspiring to people because you really are doing this as solo filmmakers, right? You don't have a large team you're working with. You're doing this on your own.
Yes, definitely. I'm on my own. I'm alone. Uh, So I'm
So,
solo. I've been solo for a while, but still solo.
and so most of your content you put out. So let's talk about your background a little bit, so everybody's more familiar with who you are. Um, so
Okay.
you have a YouTube channel and Instagram, but most of your work is published on the YouTube channel, or do you do it both? I know you have two different names, right? You have just Art Animation Studios on YouTube, and
Yes, my YouTube channel is just Art Animation Studios, and my Instagram, which I'm more active because it has like it has more engagements, and it's no, YouTube is not really. I like once I drop my video on YouTube, I just go and sleep and wake up if there'll be a comment. But Instagram, once I just drop these videos, there's engagement, there's instant comments, instant interaction. So yeah, so Instagram basically and YouTube. On Instagram is the real Benedict. YouTube is just Art Animation Studios.
okay, cool. So that's what. So people can check out your stuff there. So we mentioned before. So you're from and currently in Nigeria right now. Is that correct?
Yeah, yes, I'm in Nigeria right now.
And can you tell everybody who didn't watch the first live stream a little bit of background about yourself and the work you've done and the work you're doing now?
Okay. Um, Before I started animation, or let me go way, way back when I was quite young, maybe before I was 10, if I can remember my age then, but I know I was very, very young. Let's say before I was 10, let's say 7 or so, because when I was uh in Nigeria, we don't we call we lower age like from like 5 to 10 we go to school. The school for that age range is called primary school. So usually when I was in primary school, that's I think that's before high school. So when I was in primary school, I started drawing comics. I was more of a comic person. I draw a lot of comics. Sometimes I get in trouble because when they're teaching in class, I'll just be drawing something else. When they're teaching mathematics, I'll be drawing. And they'll be like, why are you drawing in class? I'm like, I don't know. I get inspired. Ever since I was a kid, I usually get inspired by little things, by maybe events, or when I just see something or someone, I just get inspired to draw. So when I was at the younger age, I draw a lot, and I was pushed more to, because obviously when I was quite younger, I watch all these Power Rangers, all these cartoons. So it inspired me to do more action-based type of arts. So when I was quite younger, I was more of the comic. Like I do draw comics, and I I I create stories in my head, and I represent them on paper, and I just give it to my friends, and they even sometimes they tell me, wow, I like this story. Can you change the story? Like they help me write the script. In sense that maybe if I do a part one of a story of a comic, and they'll be like, please don't let this guy die. Please don't let this guy die. Please don't let this hero die. And I'll be like, okay. Let me see how I'm going to twist it. So from there, I got inspired for, and then when I was younger, I was doing more comics. So, but when I grew a little bit older, let's say when I was maybe 13, 14, 15, I was more interested in, I, I was trying to evolve to digital, because when I was younger, it was more of drawing on paper. I was trying to be more inspired to go digital, maybe drawing on tablets, or just more of digital art than just traditional paper and pencil. So then when I grew much older, let's say when I became like 20, 21, 22,
I moved to film and video. Started shooting videos, music videos, short films, and unlike when I was drawing comics, I could just imagine anything without a budget and draw superheroes flying around, just ink and paper. But when I started doing videos, I can't do that. I can't create a story that has to do with $1 million budget, or that's just I was just restricted. So I was more of the music video. I was doing music videos and maybe short films that just sell story rather than CGI and things, because I knew I couldn't afford that. So I was mainly known as a music video director. And in 2013, I was introduced to iClone. It was my friend that walked into my room and told me, "Hey, there's this software called iClone. It's animation, and maybe you can try it out." And I was very reluctant. I was like, "Yeah, no animation. It's not really easy to learn. I don't have the resources and all that." But I just gave it a try, and I was just playing around. And because me all my life in this field, this arts or media field, I didn't really get the chance to get tutored or taught by someone. So most of the time I play with these softwares. All the softwares I know how to use now, I play with them. And what even encourages me to play with them is more of my drive. Just like what I said before, once you have the drive, it's not going to be like work. It's just going to be like fun. Even if you fail. Like the first animation I did, I think I created myself also. And I was like calling my friends, "Hey, look at what I did. Look at what I did. Hey, look." It was very basic, but I was just amused. Like, yeah, I did this, I did this, I did. I was just disturbing everybody, showing them my work. And because of that drive, and I had that enthusiasm, and I just kept doing it, even though it took me longer because no one was teaching me. And I'm not a YouTube person that I can't really sit down and watch tutorial for a long time. You understand? I just rather go and play around with it, and I'll be like, "Whoa, I like that. Let me try it again." I'll just try and error, things like that. So I got introduced to iClone and I played around with it, and I like the fact that it was simple, easy to use. It was easy to use, and I was able. The fact that it was real time, I could, like, obviously then I didn't have the resources to do the crazy rendering or traditional rendering or the V-Ray, like rendering that need serious resources, like system resources. So I like the fact that it was real time. I could see my results. Not that I'll render for like 2 days and I'll be like, "Oh, I need to change the color of that shirt. Oh God, I need to render again." You understand? So I was seeing everything in real time. So I was happy because I was seeing the results. And I feel, in my own opinion, when you're able to see your result instantly, it just encourages you than for you to just sit down for hours waiting for rendering for days. You can just get tired and bored. So after then, I started evolving, like coming to the new version of iClone, till I reached this point that I saw Omniverse, because I've always been looking for a software that can really, and that will really have that seamless workflow with iClone. And when I stumbled into Omniverse, I was like, yo, I will stick here and play around with this till I become very good at it. And to be honest, like day and night, I used to sleep on Omniverse and iClone, just because I felt like I've seen what I wanted. I needed something that I can, like a pipeline that's so, the whole USD, I can take an entire scene, you understand? And the material will go. I don't have to start applying each material, because some models can have like a lot of materials, and that can be very frustrating. So I enjoyed the fact that I could just transfer this to a particular to Omniverse, and everything just goes with it, and I did other things. So that's my background. But so I also feel.
That's amazing. That's awesome. It's so great. So are your friends still involved with your creative feedback group?
Yeah, everybody's grown now. Everybody's facing life. Everybody's doing other things. Yeah. So, but on my Instagram, I have old friends that way back in school high school, college, and primary school, like they still come and like, wow, I knew you had this. I remember when you used to do comics. Now you're doing rendering, you're doing 3D. So I have a couple of them that still hang around and see my stuff.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. Really, wonderful
Yeah.
to hear how you got started and what your passion is for this. Um, and what I was really impressed about too is that when we announced the contest, I knew that you were going to be one of the people who were going to get excited by it right away. I didn't know you were going to work on what are you up to 4 separate submissions right now?
4 different ones.
Is it 3 or 4? Can you still hear me, Benny? Oh, I might have lost Benny for a second. Well, he comes back. I believe he's done 4 submissions. So I'm not sure. So right now, so we're going to spend the rest of the show talking about the Machinima Contest. So if people haven't heard about it yet and you're interested, it's a pretty awesome contest with some great prizes. If you do a search for Omniverse Made in Machinima Contest, it'll come up right away. But basically, it closes June 27th, so you still have a few weeks. And you could win one of 3 different awesome RTX laptops. So really cool prizes. And the requirement is just that you create a film short that's less than 2 minutes using Omniverse Machinima. And as I just mentioned a second ago, Benny has done several now. So it's not
By
that time
himself, yeah.
by himself. They're all very different. Well, I guess some of them are. Well, I don't want to give it away. We're gonna watch them in a second. But it's very. We also have a great. So if you're just getting started with Machinima and you're not sure like how to start, we did a live stream on getting started a few weeks ago. I think maybe do you want to play that clip? It's
Yes.
the highlight clip from that on how you can get started, and then we have a full live stream on it. But this is a little promo for that clip.
Without further ado, this is Machinima 2022.1. But what I want to walk you through is some of the new features for those who are returning, and also kind of show you a little bit about Machinima for people that are seeing it for the very first time. 120 characters from Squad, a bunch of different props, and we have Mountain Blade, Bannerlord, put it in a T-pose, and hey, textures! Let's get into the cooler stuff.
I like how you leave off that video where Dane's like, let's get into the cooler stuff. The fun stuff.
Dane is awesome.
He is.
And he'll so he did a lot of work on that Top Goose. So we are going to we're going to like I said, in a couple weeks we're going to show the backstory and how that was made. I don't think he's actually going to be on that show. It's going to be a couple of his colleagues. I think Dave Tyner is going to be here, and potentially I think Matthew Harwood, who worked on the audio for that video. So that should be a lot of fun. So that's basically a short clip about the live stream that we did a few weeks ago on getting started in the contest. So there's a lot of good resources on the webpage, but also I was going to mention on the forums where Wendy is managing, we have a Machinima area there. We also have on our community Discord server, we've got a channel specifically called Contest Machinima. So that's where some of the contestants are posting their questions and they're sharing some works in progress. So that's a great place to learn. And we also have a general channel for Machinima if you're not interested in the contest, and you have general Machinima questions there too. So lots of great resources, plenty of time to get started. So why don't we watch? So Benny, are you back with us on the audio? I see your mic is muted, but let me see if you can unmute and we can hear you.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay. So let me ask you. So you did it's 4 submissions, right? So far, as of now.
Yeah, I think I did 4, but I think I've only submitted 2 for now. I think
Okay.
I'm still thinking of how to polish the remaining 2, but I've submitted 2.
Okay, gotcha. All right. So how long did it take you to kind of get familiar with Machinima, you think? Do you think that what kind of first step advice would you give to people? I already probably guess your answer, and that's just dive in and fool around. But what would you suggest to people who are just getting started?
You know, different people have different approach to how they learn or how they understand softwares. So mine might still be just maybe unique to me or maybe some people. So usually, the first step is when I saw when I got to use Omniverse the first time, I wanted to see uh, how the workflow will be with my software. In my own case, iClone. So because I've played around with different softwares, and my greatest headache mostly was importing props like separately. Like if I have like 20 props in a scene, I start importing them separately and now assigning the materials, and also how fast or how slow the software might take to get all these materials to like to set up. So that was what I was looking for. So because when I heard there's something called NVIDIA Omniverse, and it works with iClone, and that was the first time I got to know USD, a format called USD. You understand? So I was not really familiar with USD, and I think the first time, when Omniverse came out, the first time I checked USD out was on Sketchfab, right? Is this Sketchfab? No, no, no. Is this Sketchfab?
Or SketchUp?
This no, it's Sketchfab. Sketchfab, right? This store that has is Sketchfab, right? I think so.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So, and I saw different formats from Sketchfab, and I saw FBX. Then I saw I think USDZ or something. You understand? So I was like, okay, I'm not familiar with this format, but let me see. So that's where I started. I downloaded like a model, and I put, like, I think it is a scene, a whole scene on Sketchfab, and I put it in Omniverse, and I just saw everything just pop. I just like everything, the materials, everything was just intact. And I was like, whoa, like you understand? So because I'm solo, it's just me. I don't have a team.
Yeah.
So I'm always, most indies, we are always looking for a way to cut a lot of, you understand, hassle, or a lot of like hard work that's going to involve so many the time, and maybe sometimes we work with deadlines, and since we are just indies and we are not able to have a big team, we like things that will simplify the whole process. So when I did that, I was like, whoa, this is what I need. So I started still playing with iClone. So the thing is um I would like to say Omniverses or Machinima create they are very, very user friendly. Like, it's so, I mean, I think it took me few hours to get around everything, because you are able to export an entire scene. So the whole other things you need to know about and to learn about, it's not that much again, because basically we just want like render and have nice results. So most people, like, I think 60% of the work is done in their other softwares, that's setting up and all that. So that's in my own case. I can't speak for everyone, but in my own experience. So the first thing I'll say is that it's very. I don't think if you have if you have a good 3D background, it's not going to be so strange to you, like, because the user interface is very straightforward. So in few hours I was able to know at least 50% of how to go around the software. That's in few hours, and in days I was getting to understand a lot of things. In weeks, and I started knowing how to add my own material from the NVIDIA material um, parts. I could add my own material, tweak it, change the sliders and the parameters, and it was so straightforward. So I would like to say, people that are not yet familiar with it, if you have at least not even very too much advanced experience, if you have even an average experience in 3D in the past, it's not something that is going to be too strange to you. It's quite easy to understand. So that's my experience.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
that's good to
very
hear.
reassuring for people. And actually, you touched on a couple times the USD format. So it's great we have Maddie here because we could talk about this for a second. I don't think you really need to have a lot of that knowledge to start working with Shina, obviously. But I think it's good to have just an understanding of what USD is and why, what's its significance with Omniverse, these other tools like Sketchfab and others that, like iClone. And so, Maddie, do you want to talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, so I do want to start out with mentioning that we do allow we support GLTF, we support FBX import, and we have connectors from iClone, Blender, Substance Painter that are all bringing in data into Omniverse. So you don't even need to think about USD to get started. But the reason that we use USD, and USD is the foundation of Omniverse, is because it's this rich format for sharing the data across these applications. There's a number of ways to that. A lot of data that is is able to be represented in USD, and you can even add more to it, so that, like Benny was saying, you don't lose data when you're transferring over to another app. He brought in a USDZ from Sketchfab, and everything was there, and that's what we've haven't had for a long time. Is FBX didn't quite do it, OBJ definitely not, and so that's why USD is key to making this all happen.
And so if anyone does want to take a deeper dive into it, and you do not have to, but if you are curious, there is a DLI course which is free. So if you do a search for a DLI USD course, it'll come up right away. And that's just a few hours, I think, and very hands-on. So you get really familiar with the capabilities and why so many companies are supporting it. And we should start by saying that it was pioneered by Pixar. So everyone knows that name. But it really helps enable collaboration. I think the bigger picture, so multiple people can work on the same thing very easily using the tools that they love, which is why this ecosystem is so fantastic. Okay, so let's get back into Machinima. So everyone's been looking at the screen where there is one of your submissions. I think, Wendy, do you have the video clips of the?
I do. Which one?
So I would say, do you want to just play them, play just one, and then maybe we'll talk about that one really quick, and we'll see which one it is.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That was a short one.
Yeah, that was just a few seconds. Yeah, and the rule is it has to be under 2 minutes.
I loved it. It was adorable.
So Benny, did you see which one we just played? You're muted, Benny. Well, he comes back on. So that one was just a short one.
Yeah, I can play the other video he shared.
Okay, cool. Okay, he has he's creating new nightmares for everybody.
New nightmares.
Benny D.
I love that one.
Very crazy, yeah. And I think what's so awesome about that clip is that you wonder like what's next and what is this all about. So it's a great tease on something which is clearly very scary. And Benny, is your mic back on?
Yes, my mic is on.
Okay, cool.
Great.
So on the one we just saw, which is the one you're sharing your screen for, can you tell us what inspired you to come up with that, and how did you get started working with it? Machinima?
Yeah, you know, um, for the whole entry, as I said before, I said I have 4 entry, but it's just 2 I've submitted yet, but I still have 2 more. I really wanted to do different submissions that are quite different from each other, like have different mood, have different style, just to see how flexible the whole Machinima can be, the whole render style, the whole just I don't want something similar. So that's why you could see the other one was kind of stylized. The other one it's kind of horror, just different mood for different people, just like how the whole like movie industry is. Some people like comedy, some people like horror, some people so just different things. So with Machinima, I just, as I said, it was the workflow was so smooth, so smooth. I think when I sent it from iClone to Machinima, that's this particular one that is showing on the screen. I just I adjusted the materials, the glass, and I wanted to put this frosty glass just to not to give the whole reveal, just to put that mystery, like what's behind the glass, to make it more, you understand, more mysterious. Like there's something crazy on the other side of the glass, but the fact that you can't see it, it just gives you more questions. Is it a vampire? Is it a zombie? Is it what it is? Yes, what is it? Yes, so it's just to add more mystery to the whole scene, and it's to create that mood, and that scene. So it was so when I transferred it from iClone to Machinima, it was just the result was so instant. I adjusted the glass. I love the materials the materials in the Machinima, and the whole. I like how the fog and the way the light responds bounces all over the place, so realistic. So it just and not forgetting the speed. I think that's very important. The speed at which it's rendered in real time, like I could see everything at once, because that just gave me. And the good thing is that the fact that it's so fast in rendering, real time, I'm able to make adjustments and add more. It gives me more inspiration. Like I can like I think originally the light wasn't yellow, it was like whitish. So, but the fact that I could see it in real time and it was so fast, I started playing with different colors, and I settled on this yellowish color. It was so instant. I didn't wait. I didn't wait to see how long to render, but I was able to change colors in real time. So I was seeing the instant result, and I could make adjustments. I could make changes. I could there in real time. So it was very, very helpful for me, and it gave me this final result. And I'm just happy about it. And I have more I want to do, more things I want to do with Omniverse. So plenty.
It's very cool. And so one of the questions we got in the chat is what GPU you're currently using to do this work in Machinima.
Okay. Well, I'm using RTX 3080.
Great card.
On an Alienware, so it's a desktop.
Great. Okay. Great. That's awesome. And then I think so. We're sharing your screen. Do you want to go into a little bit more detail about kind of how you go about creating something like this? And actually, for those who don't know how to get Machinima, it's very simple. And for those who just popped in this live stream and don't know where the heck they are right now, so this is the NVIDIA Omniverse live stream. Omniverse is NVIDIA's open platform for real-time simulation and collaboration, as we're talking about. It's very easy to get. Most of the tools, the apps require RTX, so you have to have an RTX card for most of it, but not all of it technically. But the way to get it is just go to omniverse.nvidia.com. You can download the Omniverse launcher. Check the requirements first to make sure you'll be happy once you have it installed, but everything's there on that page. Once you have the launcher, you can pretty much get to everywhere. You can download apps, extensions, Machinima is one of the apps, so you just do a search for Machinima and you'll find it right away, and that gets installed. Actually, while we're talking about that, so Maddie, we talked about this on the Discord earlier with a couple of other users, but you know, how would you discuss or define Machinima as it relates to Create? Because really, it's kind of they're kind of all built from the same thread, right? And it's just a different way of using the tech.
Yeah. So Omniverse, what it brings is this toolkit that allows you to build any app that you want. So to showcase the technology, the team has built Create and View and Machinima. And where Machinima stands out is that it's really pushing the animation aspect of it. It was the first app where we introduced the sequencer, where you could have this nonlinear editing within your app, and so you can animate and also edit all in one. So so that's kind of where Machinima slots in right now.
Cool. Yeah, so that is that's available in the Omniverse launcher. And then for those who don't know, the Omniverse launcher also is a great way to get to all the learning resources. Actually, a tab called Learn.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. So thanks to Vince Brisebois, who's been working with the team, who we all of us in this live stream besides Benny report to. So Vince has worked very hard to actually organize all the information we have into really easy to find ways based on vertical, based on app and workflow. So that Learn tab, don't gloss over it. It's just scroll down. You can see everything will be very clear there. And obviously news is where we post all the latest. But the launcher is where you find out everything. So, okay, Benny, sorry for that sidetrack. I just want to let people know how to get a hold of Machinima. But we can expand on your screen if you wanted to break down anything that we're looking at for your scene and your entry here.
Okay. Okay, so we'll go to preview. So basically, let me switch to real time so you can have that. So basically, this is how the scene looks like from the preview camera. And I put like some zombies or scary creatures here, some just crawling. If I play it, they're already animated and moving. So so this is how the scene looks like. And once I sent it here, I adjusted some of the lightings, and I put a light here so that for example, if I switch it off and go to it's not, I just wanted it to be more, I just wanted to add more light in here just to give it more depth and just make the creature the guy sitting, to give him more just highlights. So I this light didn't come from iClone. I created the light here. There's the cylinder light, and this is, you see, it gives it nice like feel.
Mm-hmm.
So, and for like I said earlier on, in this part, I changed this glass from the native glass material that came in with it. I used the material in Machinima that's called the frosted glass, to make it more dull so that you can actually see what's happening at the other side, but it's just to give it more mystery and make it more just that horror feel. So at this other part of the corridor, there's also a zombie here, or a creature. Yeah, so I put another light here from, like, this light I created it here in Machinima. I just put the light here to give it that, so that you can still see through. Sorry, I'm using my other hand to hold a mic. That's why I can't do some shortcuts right now. Yeah, so I put the light behind this place.
Benny, the frosted glass is that you didn't have that envisioned originally, or
Yeah.
did you discover that?
No, I didn't have it original. Yes. Originally, I didn't envision it. I just felt it's just going to be a dirty glass or just
Yeah.
or a see-through glass. But that's the beauty of Omniverse. That's why I said you can have.
No, wait, we lost him for a second. While he is getting his audio back, Benny, just feel free to talk whenever you. Oh, here you go.
There he is.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Yes.
We did hear you.
Can you hear me? Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
that's now we can.
No.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yep.
Okay. So I said, just like Maddie asked me, I was like, yes, it was not felt. I just felt that's the beauty of Omniverse, or Omniverse is that there and then you can really get inspired by new methods or adding more, just adding more effects or to your scene, because originally I just thought, okay, I'm just going to import this scene, see-through glass and all that. But when I came in and I was like, let me, just like the lighting, as I said, the lighting was not yellow or golden originally. It was all in Machinima. I just thought about them and it came out well. So I used this frosted glass material and it gave me nice results. So I created a light behind that, just to at least to have this highlight on the windows, and to give so that the creature can, at least you can see a part of it but not clearly, just the figure. Yeah. Then I added this using
It's an interesting discovery, because usually in horror films, when you want some mystery, you just put the creature in the dark, right? And here you put it in the light and the frosted glass to obscure it, to hide it.
That's true. Yeah.
Yes.
By the way,
Yes,
Wendy is a big fan of horror stuff. I think she won her neighborhood contest for scariest Halloween
I did.
setup.
I scared the neighborhood children, so
she does not mess around. Benny, I was talking about the assets you have here. Where did some of them come from?
Okay, some of the assets I bought from Religion store. Religion, they have this asset store. So I have a bunch of them that I have in my library. So it just depends on whatever I think of. If I just think of something, I'm more of an animator and character creator. Like, I'm more of the creating characters and sets and animation, not more of a modeler of props and all that. So yeah, so I got most of these things. I have it in my library. But you see these rocks here scattered here. This was done in Omniverse. I used this the paint tool here, and this rock. We have this rock, and let me try to go to real time. You see, that's why I just added some rocks, just to add. So these rocks I added here is debris. It's from it was done in Omniverse Machinima, and it was I used the paint tool, and in the paint library I used the rock just to give that imperfection. Everything I don't want, just to give that imperfection, make it look okay. Just adding to the environment.
And so it's not often we get to ask someone about backstory here. So someone in the chat said it looks like the astronaut is sorry because he or she missed their rocket to space, and now they can't escape the situation. What is there a backstory in your head to this?
Yeah, I just want to do something abstract. Like, anybody can. There's no particular backstory. You can just create your own backstory and chip it in if it fits.
That's awesome.
So there's no. I just want it to be very abstract. Like,
yeah, that's great.
Do something. Yeah.
And so, have you done a lot of like horror genre before, or is this these couple entries are kind of new for you?
Yes, on my Instagram, like way back, I think 2018, 19, I have some horror genre I've done in the past. I'm a horror and sci-fi type of person. Like
Mm-hmm.
I like horror and sci-fi mostly. So that's why I just put this. Although I won't say astronaut, is astronaut sci-fi? It's I don't know, but it's just a mix of
Sure.
what I like. So I put the horror and the whole astronaut there. So that's my distinct genre of movies that I like to watch. So I don't really do more. I don't do comedy, but I do like I have this short warlord I do, and thank God for Omniverse, I'm getting awesome renders. So people like it because it's it's really Africans can relate to it because I'm in Africa, definitely, and most of my fans are African. So I just did the story that has a backstory, and it resonates with more Africans, and it has a little comic or comedy in it too, and it's action, so people like it more. And a lot of people don't really like horror because maybe they are not comfortable with the way horror goes, but I like horror, so that's
And so we were talking. You were talking about earlier before about how you like to do different things. I don't know if we have this one actually. Do we have the clip of the boy in the plane? Do we have that? I don't know. Is that one of the 3 files you sent me?
I
yeah, yeah.
I will say I would love
I
to see
think
the
it
first
should
clip
be.
again.
You want to see the first
the
clip again?
first one again. I can do
I think it deserves an encore.
that. Sure, I'll play that.
I've not uploaded. I think I sent you the boy with the plane, but I don't think I've uploaded it yet.
That's okay.
I played it.
So yeah, so there's another clip. So people have to wait and see. I guess I got a sneak peek at it, but totally different from this. And actually a really I don't know. I was moved by it. So I thought it was really really inspiring clip. I won't give away more to that, but besides say it's about a boy in a plane. But people still have you still have until the 27th of this month, so there's plenty of time to do your machinima submission. Is there any advice that you'd want to impart people with before we close out the stream about any parting words from Benny D himself?
Okay. What I would like to advise like creators is I feel now it's easier and it's better and it's more straightforward to get your contents, to create your contents because of these new tools have been simplified, and we have very smooth workflow pipelines with other softwares. And even if you are a small team, you shouldn't be discouraged because I think it's easier now to achieve a lot with little than back then. So even a team of 4 or 5 can do something incredible. And just to inspire people, I did a show for Cartoon Network by myself, animation. That was last year. I think I talked about it before, and it's just me, and the animation itself was just me, and I just did a little collaboration. I think everybody involved should like just 3, but I'm the one that did most of the animation, the whole cinematic and all that. So it's real. I think 5 years back, 10 years back, that would look very impossible.
Oh
Like
yeah.
how can one person do it? Yeah. So yeah, we have, and the good thing is these new tools run in real time, so it hastens the workflow. You can make corrections right there in real time. You can change color, just like how I explained. I didn't envision to use a frosted glass, but because it's real time, if it was traditionally, or I have to wait for 2 days, I won't even know how the result will look like. Or I'll just render a frame. And I think it's better when you can see it in frames than just one frame. You understand? You understand? You can now see the atmosphere and how everything is. So the fact that these new tools are coming out and in real time, they are saving a lot of time that you
Yes.
use to render and make correction and adjustment. So I would like to tell like people coming up, studios or individuals, that this is a very good time to pick up these tools and to get your work, your creation out there. And we are in an era that everybody is online. People want to watch content. People want to get entertained. People can hear a story now. We're in the whole computer age. People are glued to social media. So there are a lot of people that can get to see your content, and this workflow, or the work pattern has been simplified, and there are a lot of tools coming out. And as for Omniverse, it's very superior rendering, very fast, and it's real time. So we have a chance now.
Very true.
That is
Yeah.
totally true. That's awesome. Well, Benny, I can't thank you enough for coming and sharing your wisdom about how your journey into Omniverse, Machinima, and how you use other tools like Real Illusions, iClone. Very, very happy to have you in our community and sharing this knowledge with other users. And just a pleasure to have you on again. So thank you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So like I said a couple times, you still have till June 27th, so plenty of time for those to enter the contest. We're going to do a behind the scenes peek at how the Top Goose video was made. I think Wendy posted a link to that, so you can watch that. That'll be, I think, on the 22nd. And then Maddie, what's the topic for devs again next Tuesday? You're going to be coding, right? Is there anything specific you're going to be working on Tuesday on the live stream?
Mostly just answering questions. I think we'll do a follow-up on Scene, the Scene API. I think there will be questions to answer.
Perfect.
Awesome. And if you have a topic that you'd love for us to cover on the live streams, we have a live streams channel on our Discord now. So that's to discuss upcoming shows. So feel free to make a suggestion there, or just DM me or Wendy or Maddie and let us know what you'd like us to talk about in a future live stream. Thank you so much, Benny D. Thank you, Maddie. Thank you, Wendy. I'm going to head over to the community voice chat channel. If anyone wants to come and ask any questions, we'll hang out there for a few minutes. Benny D, you're welcome to come to the Discord channel also if you want to voice chat with a couple users. Otherwise, we'll see you next week. Thank you very much, everybody.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you. Bye. Bye, everyone.